Let us now write a pseudocode to find the smallest of three numbers. So what I will do is, in order to find the smallest of three numbers, I'll assume my first number is A, second number is variable represented by variable B, and third number is represented by variable C. And I will store the result of what is the smallest or which is the smallest of these three numbers in another variable called as small. Okay, so what I can do is I can draw a table and I can give the names of the variables in the table so that I understand whether my logic is working correctly or not. So what I can do is, let's say I have numbers 3, 0 and minus 1. Okay, so the way I'm going to find the smallest of three numbers is I'm going to process one number at a time. Say for example, I've just seen the value of a as 3. So according to me, which is the smallest at this particular point of time? 3 is the smallest because I have not seen B and C. So I'm going to say small is 3. The next time I happen to process B or I happen to see B. Now when I see 0, I'm not going to compare 0 with 3. I'm going to compare 0 with small. Small is now 3. So which is smaller? 3 is smaller or 0 is smaller? 0 is smaller than 3. So my new small ends up becoming 0. Okay? And B is 0. So I have processed A, I have processed B. Now I'm going to look at C. When I look at C, it tells me C has the value minus 1. I'm going to compare minus 1 with 0. Which is smaller, minus 1 or 0? Minus 1 is smaller. So the new value of small is going to become minus 1. Then I have processed C also. This way I have processed A, I have processed B, I have processed C. And finally I know small is minus 1 and I need to display the value of small as minus 1. So to just run through this logic again, I am going to take three variables which can hold three values A, B and C. I am going to have another memory location or variable called as small. The first thing I do is when I see A, I assume A to be the smallest because I have not seen B and C. So when A is the smallest, that at that point 3 is the smallest. Then I compare 0 with 3. I compare 0 with 3 not in A. I compare the 0 with 3 which happens to be in small. I replace this 3 with 0 because 0 happens to be the new small. Then I take a look at C. C is minus 1. I compare minus 1 in C with small in with 0 in small. Now this also is replaced. My new small is minus 1 and then I go about to print the value of small as minus 1. So if I have to run through the logic, this is how I would do in pseudocode. I will say consider three numbers A, B, C and a variable called as small to hold the smallest of the three numbers. In order to find the smallest, the first thing I need to do is I need to find the values into or read the values into A, B and C. So I can either say read values into A, B, C or get the values into ABC. So ABC could be 30 minus 1. After I read the values into ABC, the first step I do is I assume A to be the smallest. So right now what happens is I am assuming A to be the smallest. So small is here happens to be A. So A was 3. So at this point small is A. Now next time what I am going to do is I am going to read or look at the value of B and I am going to say is B lesser than small. If B is lesser than small, then the value of small will be changed to the value of B. So this is what I am doing. If B is less than small, then, so you can see an if and then statement here. If this is the condition, so if this condition is true, then the value of B is copied to small or is assigned to small. Now I have done processing B. Now I take up the value of C. If C is less than small, then what I am going to do? I am going to assign the value of C to small. Okay, I'm going to assign the value of C to small. This is the next step. And finally, I have found the smallest. I am simply going to say show the value contained in small. Let's take some three different numbers and see if this really works. Okay, so never assume through pseudocode or your logic is correct until you have really tested it, because you could have made some mistakes. Let's say 2 minus 1 and this is 0. Okay, let's assume these are the three values. So consider three numbers a, b, c, or three variables a, b, c and small. So this is a, b, c and small. Small has some value which I really do not know or I don't care. Then I read values into a, b and c. So it is 2 minus 1 and 0. This is step number 1. I assume A to be the smallest. That means since I have only seen A at this point of time, I am going to say A is the smallest. So the value of A is assigned to small. So this is the smallest. Now what I am doing is, I am next step number 4, I am comparing is B less than small. Now is minus 1 less than 2? If it is true, then only I am going to copy the value of b to small. So this becomes minus 1 because it is true. See, I am doing it in perfectly in English like manner. If c is less than small, then assign c to small. Now is 0 less than minus 1? No. So I don't do anything here. Then finally I say show the value contained in small. So it is going to print the value of minus 1 onto the screen. So this is the way of finding the smallest of three numbers who are unequal or which are unequal.